Avete presente
You know
quando
when for some time you don't get to see a celebrity on TV? You remember them, but only based on what you've seen on screen in the past. Then all of a sudden, you switch the channel with the remote control to watch the Oscars, and there they are. And you might think, oh my God, she's changed, or he changed. I didn't remember her like this. She's beautiful. Well, that celebrity is like JEANNEAU, and today she introduces herself to the world once again like this. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the new JEANNEAU DB43. Her red carpet, the waves of the sea. Her Oscar night, the boat show, of course. Over the past 10 years, the boating trend has shifted from a fascination for long voyages to a more day-to-day approach to the sea, in line with a more modern lifestyle. Day boats have easily made their way onto the yachting market, becoming a must-have in the array of ranges offered by shipyards. The new DB43 wants to be the solution that JEANNEAU suggests to this market need. Yet it is not limited in being an open or walk-around. No, this model is so much more. Let's start with the fairing. The lines that define the design, which are the product of Camillo Garrone's work, are very captivating, echoing those of a sporty four-wheeler and undoubtedly define the will of JEANNEAU, one of the world's largest shipbuilding groups, to offer a product that goes beyond the concept of serial production. It takes a lot of effort and time to make such a hull. The DB43 is available in two versions: outboard, where the engines would be housed here with the help of a bracket moulded inside the hull,
oppure come questa entro fuori bordo, dove la grande piattaforma bagno resta
like this inboard, where the large swim platform remains just below the cockpit floor level and when needed drops below sea level, also acting as a tender lift. But the beach area is not complete, because look what happens when I push this button. An area of 8.32 square meters to enjoy the sea, the sun, and hop back on board from anywhere. The cockpit has been designed for maximum space optimization based on the maximum potential use. A large cushioned module occupies the most aft area of the cockpit and can be a large sun deck or panoramic counter seating. Down here is a storage locker, and by raising the entire module, you can access the aft locker, which is excellent for stowing the tender. The central wood folding table uses the sun deck cushions on the aft side, while on the bow side the seat can be moved on two rails to clear the passage around the outdoor kitchen island. This area is thoughtfully designed down to the smallest detail: stove, sink, storage, refrigerator, and even the pop-up lights. This module clearly separates what is the convivial area from that used for steering and manoeuvring the boat, and grants a firm hold while navigating. Let me ask you something. Where do you normally stow the sink cap? JEANNEAU has thought of that as well by arranging its housing here. And to put no limits on the chef's creativity, appliances can be, of course, used in this kitchen. The power outlets are down here, and here is the provision for the entry of cables. To reach the bow, you go up 3 steps, and the walkway continues all along the guardrail, surrounding a large central sun deck that becomes an intimate forward-facing sofa. Only from here, one really realises how high the bulwarks are. You don't expect that from a day cruiser, and this, as we will see shortly, allows for truly impressive interior volumes. The skill of the Italian firm Garrone was not only in the research of the volumes, but also in the way they were disguised, thanks to the attention they had in the design phase. For example, the lines of the pulpit and its stanchions, which are sacrificed on the vertex of bow and significantly streamline the fit of the entire hull. Moving down below deck, the interiors astonish with their abundance. In fact, here, there are all the comforts that are normally lacking on a boat of this type. The hallway can be set up with a small kitchen or a breakfast nook, as they call it, or with a second bathroom with a separate shower box. The master cabin, characterized by design lines and not insignificant details, allows to fully preserve the owner's privacy by even having his or her own access to the dedicated bathroom. Aft, the second cabin with a double bed and a single or sofa. It can accommodate up to 3 guests, and despite the obviously reduced heights compared to the owner's cabin, here I can stand up to change. Even before I started navigating, I already realized that standing in front of the bridge, there are details that cannot go unnoticed. The first is the footrest, or at least the various possibilities we have for the footrest. One in the lower part of the walking surface of the deck, and it is slightly raised. The second possibility is to use this toe board and also take advantage of the roof opening. But I prefer to stay down, so I close it and I stand. The seating is arranged in 3 individual seats, 2 in front of the bridge and the other beyond the opening to go below deck. The bridge, on the other hand, is minimal, with very pleasant lines, and both 16-inch screens are perfectly visible. At 12 knots, we are already planing. What do I expect from the new DB43? I honestly don't know, because the lines and the fairing are those of a sporty boat. Yeah, but the overall design and the choice of the motorization, with the 380 horsepower each Aquamatic D6 stern drive units by Volvo Penta, suggest less of a guess for maximum performance in terms of speed, but rather that in terms of comfort and balance in consumption of fuel.
In termini di comfort e di equilibrio nei consumi. Certo è un day boat, ma non è un open.
Sure, it is a day boat, but it's not an open. This hardtop is one of the largest ever mounted on a boat of this type and size. As I said, it can be open or closed. Right now it's open. I'm at 20 knots and look, I'm not getting a single puff of air. This is wonderful. It shields us very well.
Questo è meraviglioso. Ci copre molto bene. Però io preferisco...
I prefer, though, to keep it closed. The boat looks better from the top like this.
Il progetto della carena è stato studiato da Michael Peters.
The whole design was studied by Michael Peters, who can boast a wide range of boat types in his palmares, from the most performing to the most classic and tasteful. It is made of fiberglass and vinyl ester resin. It is a classic hull with 2 stepless chines. The dead rise at the stern is 19.5 degrees, which means that this model does not need so much power at the stern to be pushed, because it does not have so much submerged surface area. But on the other hand, it has all the right credentials to be able to navigate even on a slightly more formed sea. From the data coming out of Volvo Penta's studies on this model, the optimal cruising speed is at 3,000 RPM. 23.5 knots with a total consumption of 108 litres per hour overall. And this is the right speed to test the hull on the waves, so I'm going to go bow to sea and see how it performs. Here we go. The trim assist is on and the flaps are now up, and you can feel the smoothness that this hull has on the waves. Well done, Michael Peters. However, as we said before, the hardtop is made of fiberglass, as is the rest of the boat, and so I expect that being so large, it has raised the centre of gravity a little. Shall we try to veer? Yeah, why not? We bring it up to 25 knots and veer to port. And the boat's heel is not sudden. It gently leans, finds its optimal angle of attack and closes. A perfect tack. Wide, of course, but perfect. Let's try to give it a little more gas.
e proviamo...
And let's try to trust the designer's knowledge now.
Se volessimo arrivare a
If we wanted to achieve maximum performance, we would have to test the boat with outboards.
3 da 350 cavalli.
With 3 of 350 horsepower, the shipyard claims it could reach over 40 knots.
Noi oggi con questo tipo di propulsione
Today, with this type of propulsion, we can get up to 30 knots. So, as always, today I have 2 goals. The first one is to reach them. The second is to top them.
per ora il gioco è stato facile, è bastato aprire tutto il
So
gas.
far, it was an easy game. Just by opening all the gas, we've already touched 30.2 knots. Now I take the trim assist off and yes, the flaps are all up. I start playing with the trim.
.5, 30 nodi.
30.5 knots, 30.6 knots.
E arriviamo a toccare i...
I exaggerated with the trim and we hit 31 knots. Good job.
Ora che l'ho vista, sono stato a bordo, ci ho navigato. Devo proprio dire che il DB...
Now that I've seen it, I've been on board and navigated with it, I really have to say that the DB43 draws a clear line with the shipyard's past and writes a new passage in the encyclopedia of boating, because it's a day boat, yet it's very comfortable. It is enveloping but breezy, and it is suitable for day trips, but with all the comforts needed for long voyages. In short, it is possible to define it, or maybe not. It is simply JEANNEAU DB43.